Good morning.
Good morning, Hattie.
Starting the day with a nice little riverside stroll.
Oh, yeah.
All the way into Malham at some point. Whee! Thank you. Boing. The plan today is not to trip over. Let's see whether we can accomplish that.
Did I trip over?
One of us trips over pretty much any day.
Okay. But I think that's Heidi. She walks with me all the time. Very middle England, this. Picturesque. See the waterfall through there, maybe? Yeah. Hope you can hear it. Just through there.
And that's an orange blob.
1892 it was built.
Oh yeah.
I was going to do a picture of that.
Nice. They knew how to build houses back then, didn't they?
Yep.
Timed our breakfast just right. Sun is out as we're approaching Mullen Cove.
Yeah, we've got to walk up the side of it somewhere. But one downfall with this camera is it doesn't zoom in. It'd be nice to zoom in a bit. And there's Heidi behind me. Cove belly is running ahead and Heidi's lacking behind. But yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, got that more to go. Well, Heidi's giving me a face now.
Just demonstrating where my trail name comes from.
We're more or less on top now. And this was Malham Cove is famous for, the rock formation. And Harry Potter, because it was filmed here. There used to be a waterfall here that used to go down, and these still the water comes. No one knows where it comes out. They put blue water in it, and it went for miles and miles. Not blue water, blue dye. So that's all the history I know. Just come away from the sunshine, heading up into Malham town. Very rocky here. And nice. And there's me. And there's Heidi. That's where we just come from. There's Heidi in a blue thing. And this is the way we're going. We're up in the clouds. Well, the clouds have come down. There's Heidi up there, just about this here. We're heading through there. Coming around Malham town. Not too bad. More like a road. What's the Heidi think? Oh, she's doing the engineering thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what we've been walking in the last 2 hours. The clouds are going really down, it's raining, wet, cold. Martians up here in blue. But the Martians are letting me in through the gate. The special gate.
Well, that ended badly.
Yeah, since I our last video thing, 2 hours later at least, it went worse.
We have been walking through soaking in fog, driving winds and rain for a good 3 hours now, 4 possibly.
Yeah.
And we are now in the foothills of Pennine. I mean, we were within a mile of starting the ascent to Pennine.
And we can't see more than 50 metres in front of us then. We don't want to...
It's just silly to carry on. It's quite early now. It's what, 4:30 or something? Oh, it was when we pulled up.
5 to 5.
So we found a flat piece of grass and have camped ourselves so illegally that we're not even going to show you where we are, because we could get into trouble later anyway.
Yeah.
And we don't want to kind of set a precedent by making people think it's okay to do what we're doing. This is kind of emergency. We did not anticipate being here. We are pretty wet and cold, and yeah, it's just not. I mean, as Brian said, I'm gonna lift this side. I can show you because there's nothing giving anything away, I don't think. I mean, this is the colour of the sky. This is the visibility. Doesn't look too bad, but there's actually a hill in the distance. Not that you can see that, and it's just not worth risking going up a high point because we don't know what the descent is like either. And yeah. We did all right until the weather changed. We met another group of hikers, 2 ladies and their small children, and they were the same as us. They said, like, the weather forecast was okay. You know, it was supposed to be 30% chance of rain, which then lasted about 6 hours, and cloudy. What they didn't say was that cloud would be around about your ankles. So this is us for the night. Well, for the evening, for the afternoon, unless we get moved on. But,
yeah.
We set off nice and early from our spot near the river and then basically continued to follow said river. Well, pretty much all the way into Malham. I mean, the trail sort of occasionally leaves it and comes back to it, leaves it, comes back to it, leaves it briefly at Hanlett, which is a really bizarrely steep climb up that road, and then drops back down to it until you reach Malham. We had a lovely breakfast in Malham, and the weather finally cleared up just in time for us to head out to Malham Cove, which is just spectacularly beautiful and spectacularly steep. But yeah, at the top of Malham Cove, we once again managed to lose the trail temporarily. The guidebook mentioned a lot of signposts, none of which we even saw, so we couldn't orientate ourselves by them. But really, all you do is once you reach the top of the climb, you just basically head along the ridge to its far end, and then you're back on the Pennine Way. There are other trails, but again, if you do lose the trail, any of these other trails eventually end up going the same way, so it's not really that much of a problem whether you're on the Pennine Way directly or on one of the parallel trails. By the time we were reaching Malham Tarn, unfortunately the weather had changed again and it was starting to get drizzly and grey and windy. But we didn't think much of it because Malham Tarn is nice and flat and you're sheltered in the woods for a bit before you start climbing out into the moors again. By which point the weather had turned absolutely horrible. It was getting colder and colder and colder. The wind was driving. The rain was nasty. We couldn't see what we were doing, basically. We were trying to stop somewhere for lunch, and we couldn't see more than a meter away from the trail. And once you reach these these moors here, Fountain Fell, there is a lot of, I mean, you can see it here, shake holes, pothole, shake hole. Up here there's shaft disused. It's ex-mining. So there is a lot of little nasty holes and drops not too far off the trail. So it's generally not advised to leave the trail necessarily, certainly not when you can't see what you're doing. So we just traipsed on and on and on. Luckily the trail itself was easy identifiable. You can sort of see there isn't anything else to compete with it. So yeah, we had no problem. We didn't think we were lost or anything. We just couldn't see whether there was maybe a nice little flood bit to sit down somewhere. We had it all the way down until we finally hit the road, which was a real blessing, just because it meant we knew where we were, fog or not. And we headed down to Dale Head Farm. And at that point, I mean, you can see this is Pennine. We were sort of within a mile of what is the steepest climb of the Pennine Way, and we just couldn't see enough. It was cold, it was windy, it was slippy, it was pretty horrible. And we still hadn't actually stopped for lunch at any point. It was by now nearly 4 o'clock. So we just found what we hoped would be a place far enough away from the farm to not be super cheeky, and just somewhere in this area we camped up